NPP presidential aspirant Honorable Hon Adutwum we go all out we baby and some so omo keke nsem bi efa no ho omo so the research bi aba bonten omo kire se onye sacrifices bi towards NPP no de nam here obeye flag bearer kire se ensem bebre na amanfo keka no ebusua wabo no bede. Kindly subscribe to Trends GH on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. Bibia Trends GH. Inti ebano NPP presidential primaries ho sama. Sesia de eyade a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ebusua or campaign de denden. Sauso na Kennedy akompre ko Japan. Ono so campaign. Eye Kobna AJ Japan. Ono so campaign. Honorable Brian Echampon ono so campaign. Na yade a Honorable Hon Adutwum ono so the campaign. Assαssination the denden kra. Eye week ye mu no. Or the response, Emma Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say about apology who say sama. Say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia economic management team na order no. Say we fairly Ghana for the year. Ombra bonte no mapacha wo but ono Honorable Hon Adutwum about education sector. Na do dan kwa Kufuado or the share nsana. Ade a o deliver ye impo Ghana fu bebre na no e di adanse. Now Honorable Hon Adutwum or Trinity say obe contest NPP flag bearership ho ensensam no amanfo bebre na no e kirem say oh enya de a obe wini impo global info analytics kra no my research say Dr. Adutwum ade a race we omode ahye so no obenya 10%. Na no na amanfo bi ensam so omo keka no Honorable Hon Adutwum wato ne bo a wa responding to omo part to part. Now we're making interesting revelation. We're the fees of 150 engineering and medical students for 4 years.
I will bring this party together because I'm not insulting anybody for other people.
So your unique selling proposition is what exactly?
My unique selling proposition is that, one, I'm a transformer, and they can look at my track record when I took over the Ministry of Education. They can also look at the fact that I've done something with serious experience in the United States of America, where I was able to raise funds from Wall Street in building schools in Southern California. My unique selling advantage is that I have a global experience. I know how other countries have transformed themselves. I've been part of a society where can-do attitude was everything. I tell people that what I got from America was not the money that I made. What I got from there was the sense that everything is possible.
Do you accept, though, that you are an underdog in this race?
Underdog is good, and I always accept. I used to be an underdog, so I'll always accept underdog. Underdog is always good in politics. You are underestimated, it's good. I know the work I'm doing on the ground, so if you underestimate me, it's good for me.
Because I see the August 29th, 2025 Global Info Analytics survey they did. Bawumia 42%, Kennedy Japan 36%, Adutwum 10%. You're in third, 10%.
10%. We just started. I just filed my nomination. They've been running around the country for how many years? Campaigning. Bawumia has campaigned 16 years. And plus now, he's a household name. He's known everywhere. He was with President Kufuado all these years. So I'm even happy that I just started out and I'm at 10. Now that the battle has begun and the whistle has been blown, I'm going to let Ghanaians know that there will be a new dawn, a new day in this country.
Let me take you to your constituency then, Bosentre constituency, which is your core base. Your base has shrunk. Your base has shrunk. I mean, and it begs the question, how do you win a national primary with a shrinking base?
Of Bosentre?
Yes.
What happened in Ashanti region? If you have the data there, it will be fascinating. What was the turnout? Ashanti region was what? 64%? I did 78. This was a tsunami. We were beaten mercilessly. 78, I was a survivor. So you can compare that to other constituencies that Dr. Adutwum was a survivor. Let me tell you, if we got 78% in Ashanti, do you know where we would have been?
You would have won the national elections. I mean, the history shows that anytime you cross 75, you win the
national
national
elections.
elections.
Yeah, so I did my part. If you're talking about my constituency, I got 78.4. If we got 78.4 in Ashanti, we have won. So I wish I could have done more, but I'm not going to be ungrateful to the people of Bosentre. I think they did their best for me, and I'm always grateful that they gave me 78 plus.
You ready to give up the constituency to focus on that big picture?
When I win the flag bearership, that is when I give up.
And your people acknowledge that. Maybe they want you to stay as MP.
They also find pride in the fact that the son of Bosomtwe.
Because I see there the work that you've done in your constituency for young folks there that you sponsored and given scholarships to school. When you go to the national campaign, who's going to take up this mantle? That is why you probably have to stay.
The mantle of taking care of the 150 engineers and medical doctors, I knew this day was going to come, so I paid ahead. I raised funds through YOA Foundation. Last year, I paid. So nobody owes UMAT or KNUST in terms of tuition. I paid for the 4 years. So they will not suffer because I'm going to a national. Which constituency wouldn't want their son to become the president of the republic? So they will give me their blessings when that time comes. Bosomtwe will have no regrets. I've made the constituency proud. I've elevated their name, and they will always be proud of Dr. Hon Adutwum in the history of the constituency.
So what shall much monka highway no swa? Idea Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia watch him say a banner sacrifices Nadia Wayama NPP Kennedy Akompro Japan on no swab one day so Brian Echampon on no swab one day so a former general secretary Kobna AJ Japan on no swab one day so na enona honorable ya Osai Adutwum or chem say a banner sacrifices bebria Wayama NPP a man for brand crampon omunim eka de nanka amanfo bi eje no kwa efri ni sem eba na sign watonebo.
But this is also about those who can show their sacrifice. What is the Adutwum sacrifice? What can you point to, as Bawumia will point to, the image of him and the dog being questioned and grilled? What do you point to?
You see, in this country, when the Rawlings era, when students were fighting so that we can return to democratic, I happened to be the assistant secretary of the SRC at now KNUST, those they would call the UST. And when I left the shores of Ghana for United States, I did not leave the UP tradition. We were those who founded the California chapter of the New Patriotic Party, where I rose to become the vice chair and served as the vice chair. When it was time for fundraising, you know, those days, the party in Ghana didn't have the resources, and they would come to America. I remember the day President Kufuor, before he became president, came with Mr. Kojom Pieni before he became chief of staff. We had to do a fundraiser for them in California. And that day is stuck in my brain because after we finished the fundraiser, there was an earthquake. You know, California is an earthquake country. So we raised funds from abroad. And that the late Dana Jemai, may his soul rest in peace, we fought in California, just like the New Yorkers also did the same, so that we can get resources for our party that had been out of government for so many years. Then beyond, when Hon Adutwum came, he came to California to campaign. Of course, we have to go through the same to make sure we can support his campaign. And then it was there that Hon Adutwum saw the work I was doing and asked me. We had met him at the auditorium of one of my schools, and he saw the work I was doing there after I was introduced, and he asked me a simple question. Would you consider coming back to Ghana to help me change the education system? Because Americans, and I asked him, what is it I want to do? There were too many people there. So the first thing I said was, can I talk to you later? I said, no, say it right now. So after that, he said, would you consider coming back to Ghana to help me change the education system? And I said, what is it that you're going to do differently? He talked about free senior high school. Then he handed me over to Honorable Osafo and others, Alan Shermatin, they were all there. I said, you need to talk to this young man. I want him in Ghana to come and help me implement the free secondary education and other education reforms. My brother had 200 workers. Life was good. Schools doing very well. 3 college prep schools. Somebody's asked me to come back to Ghana. And I said to myself, okay, I'll think about it. I went to meet with a mentor of mine, Congressman Mervyn Dublin, late now. And I asked him, do I go to Ghana? Do I stay here? And he said something. He said, Yao, your schools are doing very well. College prep schools that are really doing something great for American students. But I'll tell you one thing, America can do without you. Maybe your country cannot do without you. I began to reflect on the country that he was talking about. He is not a Ghanaian, but he's asking me, telling me something very profound that maybe your country cannot do without you. I thought about that. I then decided, together with my family, that we'll go to Ghana. But when we go, I'll also be part of the political process. And that was what led me to contest to become MP from Bosomtwe. I left everything behind. Everything, the luxury, coming to a place where I didn't know how life was going to turn out. I came, talk about free senior high school implementation, some bold ideas that we had to employ to make sure, communicate on it, go around the country. One of my journeys back from Boko, Bupe, my car was shot at, literally killed on the line of duty. When I went to the Bupe police station, they said it has never happened before. Nobody has ever shot into a government vehicle because they know you don't carry money. Normally they will attack traders, not somebody in a Land Cruiser. I almost lost my life.
You think it was possibly a targeted assassination?
I don't know. But all that I know was that the side of my car who I sent was bullet ridden. I saw these people who had mask on. So we turned a corner, we saw them with their mask on, then they started shooting. My driver was do a zigzag, go this way, come this way to dodge the bullets. It was a very difficult day. And we escaped that. Remember, Chief of Staff being on the phone with me throughout the night to make sure I had arrived safely in Kumasi. When we got to the Bupe police station and we stopped, that is when the tire went flat. They shot into the tire non-stop so that they could stop us there. So I was almost killed in the line of duty for this country, championing free secondary education.
You talked about your sacrifices for the party in the US and the fundraising, etc. Do they understand when you talk to them about this? Because some of the other contributions and the sacrifice of the others, we all know. We can. I'm hearing you talk about it. That is, but I haven't verified it.
It was on Joy News when I was shot. So
yes, but you know, so that one was there. But I'm talking about the parties, the contributions, etc. In comparison with the others who we saw on television, played out, etc.
I mean, let me tell you, comparison with others, maybe you've heard all of them talking about what they've done.
Yeah.
I'm not a talker. People know the sacrifices I've made.
The delegates.
Oh yes.
All the sansem we nyina aba abonten. Share what dream your comment section ho na share video we ma afoforo so senkebi. Be dey Kojo Black macro. Adia ba kwa wont me fan to chacha eye asase. Na eba no asase ho nsam so dia company ba kwa me recommend ya ma eye Landkin Company Limited. Eba no asase ho nsam de ebusuan omo ye legit. No man so twi bia enya de land guard issues bia no ewo ho. Enupo no Landkin Company Limited ebusuan enya asase pe e no moton afi no eba na cadastral site plan any afi building plan almost also facilitate title certificate any of a building permit ho SNSM Unity Landkin Company Limited omo en America recommend ya amount eba no asase ho sam so pa de atesa na meka ye na ebusuan mini wo kesei asase bebre na no ewo ho ne de omo ton na yade a ne bo no so de ewo fom omo asase ne bi opoku ase afie man eno 70 feet by 100 feet almost so ewo 70 feet by 50 feet sa so na ebusuan okopie mu ewo amasaman ene asalaja almost so asase atele mu atele chese no de so wide bag tre 70 by 100 feet ewo ho mu sa so na almost so 50 by 100 feet enso ewo ho eniti masrawa sa obefre Landkin Company Limited den de woni omo atwetwe nkomo asase no de bebre wo ho eno de manso twibia eni omo office ewo poku ase he ya eniti masrawa sa obefre omo na woni omo entwetwe nkomo eba no nsuo ene electricity ho sansam so dia woni problem for Landkin Company Limited no mo mpe asase a ehu ni asembia ema wo